Hello, my name is Melissa Watson, and I'm going to be your presenter today. We're going to learn about the HRD 5344 conflict resolution. I'm here to help you with learning about the month's library resources. We're going to take a closer look at the LibGuide that's been designed by Nick Bombach for specifically for your class. So let's begin. I was looking at your syllabus, and there you have an interesting paper there. It's going to be 30% of your grade, and you're going to be referencing your textbook with 2 to 3 peer-reviewed journals. You'll be citing these references using the APA 7th edition, and your paper is 30% of your grade. You'll be working in a group. Depending on the size of your class, it could be between 3 to 5 people. So with that in mind, I thought we could use today's lesson learning about our resource and what the library has to offer you with using this paper as our guide. So today we're going to locate ebooks, including your textbook, in the month's online library. We're going to also locate full text journals. We'll use a practice topic so you can see how you might search for your own topic. We'll examine citation resources provided by the month's library to assist you with citing your own sources. And we'll briefly cover some of the outstanding amenities the month's library has to offer you at the end of the presentation. Okay, so let's begin. The first thing that I always like to do is show how to locate the month's library or any library from the homepage of the website. So from the UT Tyler homepage, you would go there, and from your academics tab, most universities will drop their library underneath their academic tab. So from academics, you'll go there and click on library, and you'll see the swoop search there, which we're going to talk about. And from there, the resource today that we're going to be focused on is going to be the research guide by subject. A research guide, and today yours is going to be on human resources development, which is going to be focused on your class. It's been specifically developed by a professional librarian, Nick Bombach, that it's taken everything in the library and focused it specifically to that field so that all the noise, all the peripherals have been taken out so that you can focus and know that you're going to find what you need, and that all the squirrels and all the distractions and all the noise have sort of been removed for you and to save you time. So with that in mind, let's sort of look at what a really broad search is like when you have everything there. The swoop search is the big search where it searches everything in the library, all the books, all the databases, everything that the library has to offer, the abstracts, the indexes, the non-full text, the ebooks, and the paper books. There are advantages to that. It's kind of like a Google search. When you want to know basically what's out there, you're just curious. How much information is there out there? If I were to search, say, marmosets, I'm just curious, like how much is out there? Let's say I want to do my paper on conflict resolution and say boundaries. That's what I want to type in. I want to see how much is out there. You want to know just exactly how much is out there. as broad as it could be. That's when you do a swoop search. You want it as big and as wide as possible. That's the advantages of a swoop search. To me, it's kind of the comparison of a Google search of your library. But sometimes when you want to, especially when it comes to a paper like you're going to be doing with your classmates, you want to save time and you want to be specific because you're being told 2 to 3 references, peer reviewed. You're wanting to narrow it down quite a bit. You're not wanting everything. You're not wanting to go through everything, and you're wanting to be very specific. So that's when you get a professional librarian that has already narrowed it down to peer-reviewed scholar. They've been checked out. They've been vetted. They're not people that have just been putting things out there, writing opinions, and putting it out there on Google, publishing it themselves. They've had to go through a tight system to get their information there, and even further. So we're going to find that information here: Human Resources Development and HRD PhD Research Guide. So this is your professional librarian, Nick Bombach, and I'm sure that he would be happy to work with you after today if you have further questions. And notice how he has begun this guide here to give you research tips, to show you how to find books and articles and how to cite, and scholarly communication. When you get ready to write your dissertation or thesis, he's also given information about that. I actually read all of this, and it kind of helped me to sharpen my skills and gives you information about hours. So let's begin with finding your textbook, which will teach us and show us how to find ebooks. Notice here, we'll go to books. Both paper copies can be found here as well as ebooks. And we're going to go to the EBSCOhost is where I found your book, your ebook. And this is how I got into here to find, oh goodness, I hope it's not going to give me a problem. Okay. So when I search this source, the quickest way I normally like to do it is just to type in the ISBN, but I think for some non-librarians that is a little intimidating. So you could type in the title if you want to. For the sake of time, I do think I'll go ahead and do the ISBN. 9717584, and we'll go ahead and bring that up. Okay, so we're going to go back and here that was a failed attempt. We're going to go back to books. So that is not where I found it. It apparently was an ebook central. So here we go. And there it is here, conflict resolution. Let's go ahead and do that title. Conflict resolution. This will be a good opportunity to show you how to make sure you find the right edition. Conflict resolution toolbox. Models. And maps for analyzing, diagnosing. Okay, so that's not all of it, but I think that's enough to get us there. Okay, so notice that this is not the second edition. it is the right author. So we'll go down to look for the second edition. This is where you can check for your ISBN number against what is in your syllabus. You can download this book, full download if it's not in use. You can read it online, and you can also use your table of contents. This is where I went. So as a group, if you were looking at this and you hadn't chosen your topic as a group, let's say each of y'all were going through the book, say if you were doing it in weeks, and you had found the chapter on boundaries particularly interesting and agreed that this might be the chapter y'all wanted to do your report on. So you could share the link with one another. And this link you could share and say, hey, let's read this chapter together and see if this is what we would want to do our report, our paper together on. So you could Control C that and share it. And of course, if you're going to use that and you needed to, of course you could print that to PDF. You could also copy it. You could also download it. Let's say you needed to get that citation. Go ahead and get that. You would not want the MLA version. You would want to do a drop down for that. Make sure you get the APA. It does not tell us if that is the 7th edition, which is what you're being requested for. So if you choose to Control C that and copy that, which I do recommend to do, Nick Bombach has examples of how to cite. I would compare that, and I would also go to the Purdue OWL site, and I would make sure that I checked that against the 7th edition and make sure that was done up to the 7th and most latest edition and compare that. So at this point, you could email this to your group members, and then by sharing that link with them and see if that's what everybody agreed upon that you would want to do. So as you're reading through this, you can highlight certain portions of this. And one of the ways that you might take from this to go to look for your peer-reviewed journals is what we'll be looking for next. Peer-reviewed, meaning that we want to make sure that those scholars have been vetted and that what they are writing about has been tested and proven true and proven to be based upon fact, that it can be reproduced and that it is not just based upon their opinion. Picking up names and other key terms like Larry Prevost. Of course, boundary model would be a good key term to take from here. And just as you're reading through, maybe jot down other terms and names that you could use to search with. Okay, so let's return to our research LibGuide that was created for us as we learn to look for peer-reviewed journals. And we do today, I am concentrating on full text with in mind, this was, the syllabus I had was for a summer term. We do have the months, Robert R. Months does have interlibrary loan. So anything that you found that was an abstract, which means there's going to be a summary, and that it would describe it to you, and that you would be able to get it through interlibrary loan and request it. A librarian could get that through you. You could also request it electronically, and it would probably be sent to you through email. Or an index, which would use key terms to tell you what was it, how to access it. You could also get that through interlibrary loan, but me thinking it was a summer course that we would be looking for full text today because you would need it promptly. So the next thing we're going to look at is databases and journals, and with in mind that we want full text. So each of these, when we're looking at APA Psych info, it's telling us citations and summaries. So with in mind, I'm thinking full text, business source complete, full text journals. Okay, I'm like the sound of that. ProQuest dissertations and thesis. I would probably love to dive into that, and you would too, as you're getting nearer to writing your dissertation and thesis, to look at examples and samples of what you're expected to do, as well as to see what types of information is out there as to whether your lit sources, like what's been done, and what kind of work is already out there, and what's been covered, and kind of lost where I was going with that. So Sage Journals, a wealth of information there in the humanities social service. So what we're going to go is we see full text journals here, and we're going to look here for our full text. An example of what we were doing there, we discussed full text peer-reviewed journals, and we had discussed boundaries for conflict resolution in the workplace. We'd sort of narrowed further after we had found your textbook as one of our sources. Okay, now Boolean search terms was something we used to do, and this has sort of broken it up even further. Notice that the and, or, and not. I don't want to say long time ago, but yes, long time ago, we would have placed those in one box, and each one would have added, we want this, and this, and so now they're doing it for us in these boxes where we can drop that. We want this or this or, and not. So sort of, I think we've all kind of, at this point, got a good grasp on that. But just to notice that it is doing that for us and simplifying the process. Also here, we have these fields where we can search the text. What that is going to make it very broad. We could also have put the title, and then we can choose the author's name and subject terms. So you could do a lot with this, and remembering that each of these is going to delineate and narrow the search further and further, and reduce the number of articles that it's going to bring back for you. So I've played with this, so I kind of know what it's going to do for us. Pretty quickly, it's going to narrow conflict resolution here, and we're going to do workplace here. And in this next one, we're going to do boundaries. Okay. We're going to do proximity. When I did find all search terms, it pretty much took out a lot very quickly. We do want peer-reviewed, so we're going to check that. It is pretty rare to get into a database that not being peer-reviewed, but if that's the case, we definitely want to check that. We don't want anything to come back that has not been vetted and reviewed by other scholars within the field. Okay. All right. So looking through this, and we are scanning to be rather quick. The third one comes up, and we see that it is full text. Technology and boundary management on work-family conflict during COVID-19. Let's see, that seems a little bit dated to me. We haven't quite moved past COVID. It is still affecting us. alternative dispute resolution, and first climate perceptions, and team performance. Let's check this one. Okay. It's full text. Okay, so let's begin with this. This is full text and we want to share it with our team members. We can print it, we can email it to ourselves or to our team members. We want to make sure that we cite it because we've been told we need to do that. And we always want to cite anything that we use. That is, it's ethical. And it's plagiarism if we don't. If you ever have any questions about that or need help, just contact a librarian. You can do that in the chat here. Be glad to help you. Actually, that's fun for us. So just don't hesitate. Or the Writing Center, APA 7th edition right here. That's quick and easy for you. Take it from there. That it lets you know that it is up to date from the 7th edition. So you could cite from there, and you could download, and you can print, and you can export. Okay, so that we have 1, 2. We would need to find one more, and that would give us our 2 to 3. So there 2 to 3 plus your textbook. So you would need to find one more. So we have done that. Okay, if we were in class, I was about to say, are there any questions? But we are not. Okay, so let's return to our presentation. And there's our textbook, and we've done our full text only. So we've discussed full text. That's pretty straightforward, and abstracts do give you a summary. Index gives you basically keywords, how to find something. We've discussed Boolean search terms, and we have talked about peer-reviewed articles. Those are and sometimes I interchange that with scholars. Those are persons in the field that have been vetted, they have researched, and they have checked and held one another accountable that what they have said has been tested, tried, and true. They have had other persons look at what they've said, a chair. Someone has made sure that what they've said or what they have written is true. Your citation resources are also provided on the Purdue University. There's a link that is on the Purdue University. This is linked on the HRD LibGuide. So let's go back to that. From that, okay, we're going to go back, and that, what you're hearing, is in the wild a cavalier. Okay, so in that LibGuide, everything is there on that LibGuide. Everything that you could need. So if you get lost, just return there. Okay. I think I went to writing and citing right here is the APA manual. Right there is, you could find what you need for the APA citation manual. Okay. And then if you have any questions, you could also book an appointment with your librarian on that. Okay. So, okay. All right. And so, the other resource, we're having a little technical difficulties. And back up one more. Just want to review if you need assistance. We talked about that. Librarians are always here, the outstanding amenities. We are not, I think a lot of times I always just imagined that I was going to disturb someone if I reached out to a librarian. That is not true. We are actually, and when I was a librarian, both at a college and in the high school setting, waiting, just ready to pounce, waiting for someone to need assistance. So please reach out to us. Library instruction is tailored to your classes. I did that both in the research setting and in the high school setting. I would work with the teacher. I would have their syllabus, and a lot of times I had taught the lessons, and I was ready to go in and teach side by side with them, either embedded into their classroom or create a lesson like this one that they could play in their classroom. There's a variety of library spaces for you, for study groups or rooms for checkout if you just need a quiet place, if you happen to have a noisy roommate for you to check out. There is printers, scanners, computers, software, Wi-Fi available. There's always some interesting things available that sometimes people aren't even aware of. I know our high school library, we had cameras available for checkout, video cameras. We really had interesting things that we just acquired through the yearbook staff, that they would hand down cameras when they got new ones. So there's just things that you just might not even be aware of. Just ask and check and see. Of course, probably I'm the last person to know that there's a full Starbucks that will soon be open. That's incredibly exciting. I noticed on the website, the Facebook, that there was a pet therapy visit, that there are community outreach that happen where libraries feed communities. So if you are looking for something like that to be a part of, that's happening right here on campus, that you want to give back, and that is an awesome opportunity. They have outreach nights, Not Against Procrastination, where they do drawings, and they had over 300 people participate. They also had where libraries come to you, called Libraries on the Loose, and so much more. So I do hope that you will take part and join their Facebook pages. So much available, and I hope that you will join their Facebook page, and so you'll see all those things and so much more that's available through your library. And if you would like to view this presentation again, or share with a classmate or colleague or someone that's not here today, I will put the link below here, and it will be available on YouTube. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.